better to be with a person with a good educational background. Sometimes it's very difficult to communicate with a non-educated person.
Oh, it was heartbreaking hearing Bernaya's family speak about how heartbroken he was when Nicole said yes to Sam. And then Jasmine's mom, I think she's misunderstood. I think she's misunderstood. I think she's been through a lot. I think this is why she is the way she is. I think people need to give her grace. I think she's just outspoken and upfront, and so at times it can be seen as being disrespectful, but I don't think she intends to be disrespectful. Yes, there are issues there about her wanting to be friends with her daughter and wanting her daughter to tell her everything, but otherwise I loved her. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 1, Episode 9. We start off with two family meetups, and one is so emotional, it's so sentimental, and the other one, you're just side-eyeing them and thinking, what the hell is going on here? So you have Benaya, obviously his mom and sister come to meet with Nicole. Apparently they live in Germany. So after the experiment ended, Benaya was so devastated that he went to Germany to see his family, and they sort of feel some type of way. Benaya actually gave Nicole a heads up to say, when I went to Germany, I was devastated. So if my mom and sister behave a certain way, know that they're coming from a place of having seen me crumble. It's not anything to do with you, but it's just the situation that I was in. So you could tell Nicole was really nervous. She was really anxious and she didn't know what to do with herself. And so when the mom and sister came in, I like that they were open. They greeted her. They all sat down. And then I think in sitting down, whatever sort of reservations they had sort of disappeared the moment they saw how excited and how comfortable and happy Benaya seemed, because then they had the conversation about the fact that, when things didn't go his way, he was heartbroken, he wouldn't eat, he wouldn't talk, he just shut down. And for them, it was shocking that, oh my God, what really happened to him? And I love the fact that irregardless of what Sam has said, Nicole has never dragged him. She's always sort of maintained a line of, I will not say anything. I could say things to defend myself, but I choose to keep quiet and I choose to move on. So the fact that she took responsibility for her decisions and her shortcomings, and also explained that the Sam that she got to know is different to the Sam that Bay and I got to know. Because obviously Sam was bringing his representative into the pods to meet Nicole, bringing the person that he felt Nicole wanted to meet. And so am I surprised that she said yes, no? I think he's a manipulator and he's used to using people, and he's someone who grew up with a lot of insecurities, Sam. So now that he's in a position where he thinks, I'm tall, I'm good looking, I've got a great body, now he's trying to turn whatever trauma he's got onto the ladies. Obviously Bernaya's mom spoke about how she felt about the whole situation. She had a conversation with her son and sort of said to him, I can see that you're finally happy, you're finally at peace, you have my blessing. And also they really accepted, and she was forthcoming, and Benaya was forthcoming in sort of telling his mom about Nicole and the things that went wrong and how they are now. And so his family, I like that they encouraged him to say, if Nicole can move on from Sam, you need to learn to move on. You cannot continue to hold on to that anger about that man. It's time for you to put your anger down and move on and focus on your relationship. I like that his sister also had a conversation with Nicole and said, normally in relationships, I always say, oh, I have a bad feeling about someone, but with you, I don't, which to me gives me hope that, the two of you could actually make it work. I think Nicole is a great person. I think it's easy to love her. Yes, she comes with baggage in the sense that she's got this failed marriage, and she owned up to the family and told them that I was married before. I did make a mistake and I was married before. And I think because of that, this is why I make the choices that I make. So that was cute to see. And it was day and night when you compare the conversations that were taking on with Catherine and her friends when they met with Freddie. Because Catherine she invited her friends, and it's like, I was wondering, where is her family? I know she's adopted, but where is her adopted family, you'd expect her to bring them to sort of meet the man she wants to marry. She met his family, so the least she can do is allow him to meet her family. There is a lot of red flags when it comes to Catherine and Freddie. There's a lot of issues that make you say they shouldn't get married. In my opinion, they're not ready for marriage, and they're not each other's partner, in the sense that Freddie's always tense around Nicole. You can tell that he's not comfortable. He's very anxious. He's very worried that something might go wrong. So I wish they wouldn't get married, in my opinion. I wish they could just say no and keep it moving. Freddie then went to get a drink and left Nicole with her friends. And Nicole is upset at the thought that Freddie has asked for a prenup and he's told her that, his sister will inherit the house. And, the friends are sort of questioning, what about you? That means he is going to leave you hanging dry. And it's like, but you are coming into this marriage with something. You must surely be coming into this marriage with something. Look at it from a different point of view, in the sense that you will be able to leave with whatever you came in with. He will leave with whatever he came in with. Whatever the two of you decide to build together is totally different. And so I don't get why she and her friends feel some type of way. Oh, no, what if you have children? Does that mean that when you have children, it's going to leave you high and dry because of prenup once it's end? And it's like, it's a prenup. It's before he met you. You have your own things. He has his own things. Why can't you stick to your own and let him stick to his own, and then the two of you can build together from when you get married? Why should it be such a big deal? It comes across as, you wanting his assets or you wanting his money, and that's the only reason you're going to say yes. I didn't like that conversation. It made me feel very uncomfortable. Yeah, I hate talking about money, but this made me even feel more uncomfortable, because it made it seem like all she wants Freddie for is his money and nothing else. It seems I was too quick on the draw. I was too judgmental, wasn't I? So you have, Freddie and Catherine meet up with her parents. It was actually cute. I really love her parents. They were very warm and very sort of loving and caring and nurturing. So it makes me question why Catherine is the way she is. They had a meal with Catherine and Freddie, and then they took them aside, and Catherine's dad was sort of trying to reassure Freddie that you need to make sure that you're 100% sure, and you need to just relax and allow yourself to enjoy. I think after the conversations with his family, Fred is now stuck in his head, because they're now questioning, Catherine's motives. Is she there for the right reasons, or is she just there for his money? Which they have every right to do so. They have every right to question, because that's their loved one. And so I loved that conversation between the dad and Freddie, because it was very reassuring. I loved the conversation with Catherine and her mom. And Catherine's mom was trying to say that, Catherine and Freddie remind her of herself and her husband, and the fact that her husband is very laid back, just like Freddie, and she is the one who's very anxious and very worried about everything. I wish they'd had more conversations with the two of them. I really wish they'd had conversations. I wish they'd addressed the elephant in the room, which is the prenup situation. And I wish they'd made their daughter sort of understand that, this man doesn't owe you anything prior to you meeting him. He doesn't owe you anything. That's his stuff. You need to leave him with his stuff, and you need to focus on your marriage from the day it starts, and what you and him are going to accumulate together, and whether or not he's going to be a good provider. Otherwise, it's pointless for you to worry about his past and what he's had and what his prenup says and whatever. And so I don't know. Maybe they'll work, maybe they won't. I don't know. You had Maria meet with Tom's siblings, his half sisters from his dad, and that as well was a bit well, they really liked Maria, but also there was this awkwardness in the sense that Maria spoke about her concerns in regards the man being the provider. This is where the difference in culture comes in, because she has grown up in a culture where the mother stays at home and looks after the children and nurtures the family, and the husband goes out to work. And you have Tom coming from a background of where, it's 50-50. So she spoke about the issue about buying ice cream and him not doing it and her expecting. And this was a very small expense. And the sister even said, in his head, he might have just thought, but it's just ice cream. But to somebody else, it means a lot. It does mean a lot. So I like the fact that Maria was open and she actually expressed this concern to his sisters. That way they knew where she was coming from. She's not saying she wants his money, but she's saying that if he's going to be sort of courting her, then he needs to show that he is courting her. He can't just come there and just be, expecting her to go Dutch with him. He needs to provide for her. He needs to show her that he'll be able to provide for their family once they're married. I think this is where she's coming from. He needs to show her what life will be once they get married. Yes, she is working. She's got a career. That doesn't mean that she doesn't earn as much as him or more than him. But at the end of the day, he needs to show that he doesn't need to be encouraged to look after his family. He needs to show that he doesn't need to be pushed to provide for his family. So I get where she's coming from, and I really hope he, as a person, understands where Maria is coming from and is able to make the adjustments or reach an understanding that she's not after his money, but she's actually, I know it's a bit hypocritical given how I've criticized Catherine, isn't it? But the problem is with Catherine, she's totally different to her fiance as compared to Maria. Maria is loving, nurturing, caring, empathetic, understanding. Whereas Catherine, everything revolves around her, in my opinion. Catherine wants her to be at the center and Freddie to be on the outskirts. Whereas with Maria, it seems like she wants to look after her partner. She wants to make sure that he's okay, but at the same time, she wants him to look after her as well. So she wants them to pour into each other's cup, not them all constantly pouring into one person's cup. Jasmine's mom came in hot. She came on smoke. She wasn't playing games. I felt sorry for poor Bobby because I don't think he was ready for this. I think this came out of left field and he didn't know what to do with himself. Although you had Jasmine sort of prep him and let him know that it's not going to be a walk in the park. Her mom is going to grill him, and you were saying, she's MI5, FBI, every investigative department sort of rolled into one, and it's like, well, it is what it is, but she has to have boundaries. And then when she came, this tiny little thing, but oh my God, she was small but mighty. At times it felt uncomfortable. It felt like disrespectful. But I give it to Jasmine for sort of telling her that, this is going to be my husband. You need to be able to respect him. And so for the mother to say, you have to tell me everything. Everybody's got a secret. You don't lie to me. And it's like, but they can't tell you every single thing that's going on in their life. They really can't. They can't tell you, oh, we're planning to have a child. Oh, we had sex. Oh, we fought yesterday. I give it to Jasmine for telling her that the more I tell you about what's going on in my marriage, the more you're going to dislike my husband. So I'm not going to tell you everything that's going on with me, because at the end of the day, I know that you might not, you might hold on to it for forever, and then it will affect your relationship with him. It will affect the grandkids, which is the truth. And the mom saying she's trying to make sure that Jasmine doesn't repeat the same mistakes. I think a lot of parents try to rewrite history by making sure that their children don't repeat the same mistakes that they made. So I get where the mom is coming from. But at the same time, there's a way to talk to someone without coming across as disrespectful, derogatory, or just plain old rude. I was surprised that the mom didn't have a moment with Bobby, because Bobby, once they finished eating, Bobby's the one who was left to clear up, and Jasmine took her mom aside. I think because Bobby was so nervous, and Jasmine really likes Bobby, so she didn't want him to be put off. And I think this is why she spoke to her own mom and sort of made her understand how happy she's with this guy, and how she thinks this is an amazing man, and that the mother needs to be respectful and understand that they're not always going to sort of talk or have the same conversations that they did before she got married to, or before she gets married. And I like the fact that, Jasmine told her that, there are things that we do now that we won't do once I'm married to this man. There has to be boundaries. And I don't know. The edit, I think, made her seem worse than she was. I was expecting smoke. When I sort of came across something on Twitter, I was like, oh my God, she's going to be hard to watch. But actually, she wasn't that bad. I don't think she was bad. Yeah, she might have, softened the blows a bit, but still, she was just, trying to set boundaries and trying to make her presence known. Bobby, I didn't know he had a great job. Well, he said he can afford to live in London, and London, we all know, is very expensive to live in. So for him to say he works remotely so he can afford to live in London, kudos to him. I know Jasmine is able to stand up for herself, so I understand the mom being protective. But if it was someone like Demi, then I would be worried. But with Jasmine, the way she gave smoke to, Ollie, I know she can look out for herself, and I know she can protect herself. So hopefully her mom eases off a bit and allows her to just be and enjoy this man and this relationship. One thing I have to give credit to Love is Blind is UK. They've focused more on meet the family and hearing people's families' concerns, worries, their opinions about the relationships. That's what they've paid more attention to, because they had this very short clip, about less than 20 minutes, I think, whereby they spent on everybody sort of looking for their clothes, the brides trying on their dresses, and they only tried one. It wasn't people parading in, 200, 300 dresses. No, they only tried the dress that the bride the bride to be felt was the one. I think all of them, if I were to rank them, I would say Demi was number one for me, followed by Maria. Maybe it's because those are the people that I like. Jasmine, her dress was beautiful. Nicole's dress, I think because of her height, maybe, but it was cute. I didn't like Catherine's dress. No, I didn't like it at all. I don't know how I feel about that. And Sabrina's dress was okay. I liked how emotional people were. Demi, for someone who was very quiet on the retreat, oh my God, she found her voice somehow. Because she was very talkative, she was very emotional, she was very, sentimental about this occasion and what it means to her. She spoke about her parents' marriage, and it's a bit orcs galore, because you have people like Jasmine's mom, who's been married twice, and they're coming from a broken family. I don't know. It was nice that she was in her moment, but at the same time, it was orcs galore, because some of the people don't have the same experience that she has. But she seems very sure about Ollie. She seems excited to be marrying him. He brought Aaron from the pod squad. He's not the first, groom to be who's brought someone from the pod squad. I remember Kwame brought a friend from the pod squad as one of his people for his suit, fitting. So that was cute to see. And the guy, Aaron, had nothing but nice things to say about both Ollie and Demi. And this is something that I can agree with him, because I've seen how everybody seems to like them. So I agree with that. Sabrina and Steven, they seem happy. They seem like they're going to say yes. Her mom was excited for her. I still worry about the elephant in the room. I know I'm like a broken record, but hey, it is what it is. Jasmine's mom, surprisingly, was open to the idea of them trying on dresses. She was open to the idea of Jasmine going through with this marriage. Bobby must have had a conversation with them once the cameras left that convinced her that this is it. I loved, we had Nicole's mom was there. She was very supportive. That was cute to see. But the standout moment for me, for the brides to be, was Maria's mom. Praying over her daughter in her wedding dress. That for me was the breakout moment. That was very emotional for me. And how her sister was breaking down, because obviously they lost their dad and they're thinking, we wish she could be here. So that was very good to see. And to have Tom say, this is the longest I've been away from Maria since we met, and so I really miss her, was amazing. It shows that Maria has changed this man. She's won his heart, and he's really excited to see how things go. So I loved that for him. The grooms, everybody seemed excited. Apart from Freddie, I think, might be a no on wedding day. I hate to speculate, but I think Freddie's going to be a no. Just because he doesn't seem sure. I don't know what Catherine is doing to him, but he says the way she snaps at him. And it's like, Freddie looks like someone who grew up being very nurtured and very sort of protected and sheltered. So the idea that someone would be snappy is something that I don't think he's used to. And this is going to be a sticking point for them. And I can't see them actually breaking up because of that, because I don't think he'll be able to tolerate Maria sort of being disrespectful towards him or being snappy or abrupt with him. I don't think this is something that he'll be able to tolerate. I actually loved the final dates that they had, because we got to see 4, if I'm not mistaken. Bernaya and Nicole had their date on it looked like it was on one of those, what do they call, houseboats. It looked like it was on a houseboat. I thought it was cute. I thought it was them. They are people that are not very sporty. Neither are they, very flashy. So this was ideal for them. I love that they complement one another. And Benai really cares for Nicole, and I hope she doesn't break his heart by saying no on wedding day. They were sweet. They were sweet. I can see them saying yes, and I can see Nicole getting the marriage that she's wanted, because she says he brings out the inner child in her, and he's more compassionate, empathetic, caring, loving, all the positive things you would want from a partner, especially given how his family spoke about his reaction when Nicole said no to him. So I think they are, if I were to predict, I think they're going to be a yes. I really do. Sabrina and Steven, they had their date in Kent. What do I think? It was a bit awkward of a date because all they had was a picnic table and some drinks. And it's like, they should have given them more. Either they should have sent them, horseback riding. They should have sent them on a boat, something, just to show their identity as a couple. But they seem to complement one another. They seem to really like one another. And sadly, it seems, I am now starting to think that the baby issue was only something that the producers brought up because there was no other bone of contention with them as a couple. So I can't wait to see what happens on wedding day. I'm on the fence with them. They're either or. We had, Bobby and Jasmine, they went to the London Eye. I would love to go on the London Eye one day, but the height. Anyway, they seem more sentimental, more emotional. I liked their date. They seem to be in tune with one another. I love the fact that they've sort of put all the issues about her mum or her mum's concern in the rearview mirror, and they haven't continued to sort of hash them or sort of wanted to bring them up, which I think was good, because you know that people on the internet are going to drag her mum. So it's a good thing that they decided to sidestep and just not address it at all. I love that. Then you had, Ollie and Demi go to a bowling arcade. That was cute. That was them. This is something that was more ideal for them. Yes, they're very competitive. Yes, Demi's very sporty, and Ollie says he does a lot of sports as well. So it was cute to see them sort of compete and not throw a fit. This is what I liked. It was cute to see them actually compete and try and wind each other up, but nobody threw a fit, which I really loved. And so I have hope. I know online I've seen someone saying that, the contestants on Love is Blind UK are better. I think they're just more mature. I think they've been through life and are at a stage whereby they're ready for a commitment. So this is why they come across as better. I think the US needs to work on their casting a bit more, needs to take a page out of Love is Blind UK and see, how they can go about looking for people that actually want to get married, not influencers. I think if they go back to the template that they used in season 4, that will work better for them. I think if Love is Blind USA can go back to their season 4 template, because they ended up with 3 happily married couples. So I think that's where they need to go back. Anyway, I'd actually forgotten one of my favorites, Tom and Maria. Tom and Maria are on their own sort of wavelength. They've, had issues, but they've discussed them. They might have brought them up on camera, but they've then gone back and sort of hashed them in private as a couple and sort of reached an understanding, which I really loved. Obviously, Maria's emotional because, her dad won't be there to walk her down the aisle, which is sad. But I like the fact that Tom is now... I think Tom, this is the best he's ever been. I don't know this man from Adam, but I think Maria has been good for him because she's sort of brought this humbling spirit onto him, in the sense that he doesn't look down on people anymore. He doesn't come across as very pompous. He's very empathetic and understanding, which I really loved, especially when his wife was crying. He was trying to reassure her and sort of have some PDA, but not be inappropriate. I think he's very respectful and mindful of the things she told him about her sort of her culture and her tradition, and in regards PDA. So that I really loved. I love them as a couple. And so we'll see who says yes. I think of the couples that we saw, there is a strong possibility that 75% of them could say yes. There is a strong possibility that 75% of them could say yes. So I can't wait to see the outcome. Anyway, I actually forgot about Catherine and Freddie's date. They did a pottery class and it was so awkward and they were in their own little zones. I have a feeling they're going to say no. Because it seems Freddie has worries about his wife to be, and sadly, he's now sort of being suspicious of anything she says or does because he thinks that maybe she's just doing it so that he says yes on wedding day. That's how it's coming across. So I can't wait to see what actually happens on wedding day, because it wasn't convincing. You would have expected them to have, a romantic moment with the pottery class, but everybody seemed focused on their own tasks and not willing to sort of, well, they were engaging, but it wasn't emotional engagement, even though you had Catherine talk about, since the moment I met you, when I close my eyes, I go back to that space where we were, and it's like, it's not hitting with him. You lost him. When you were snappy and disrespectful, you lost him, and sadly, you're not going to be able to bring him back. I think this is the end for the two of you. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 8. Bye guys.